South by Southwest offices in downtown Austin with Texas State alumni Sarah Garcia and Andrew McNeill. So yeah, if you guys could just say your names and your positions with South by Southwest, how long you've been working here?
My name's Sarah Garcia. This is actually my first season on staff. Last year I was an intern for Interactive, and this year I am a programming assistant, so pretty much just kind of help curate the interactive programming and panels.
And I'm Andrew McNeill. I guess my official title is Interactive Festival Coordinator, which only a handful of people actually have set job titles. Most of us just kind of make them up as we go along. But I do a lot with the Interactive Awards competition and the ceremony that goes on during South by Southwest. And then I help out in just kind of a lot of different areas. Everyone kind of, early in the season when we start getting the ball rolling over the summer for the next year's festival, everyone kind of does a lot of different things. And then as we get closer to the festival, everyone kind of focuses on their one thing. And so it's kind of how a lot of us do. But my main thing right now at this point is the Interactive Awards competition. And this is my fourth festival. It's my third as a full-time employee. And then I was an intern my senior year at Texas State.
Yeah, so the Interactive Conference is starting this Friday. What is it like at the South by Southwest offices right now?
I mean, depending on who you ask, you'll get a different story. For us, as far as programming is concerned, it's kind of calm before the storm. For the most part, everything's been cemented. Our programming book has gone to press, and now it's just cementing last-minute details, tying up loose ends. But for the most part, yeah, kind of just braving for the storm to come.
Yeah, it's a mix of crazy and calm.
Yeah.
Most of the major details have been sorted out, and most ships have sailed at some point. It's going to happen whether we want to do it or not. So, I mean, there's no turning back. Everything's kind of, the ball's rolling too far to stop it. So it's kind of a mix. There's stress because it's coming up, and there's some details have yet to be resolved. But for the most part, it's just kind of bracing for impact.
So I know that each year with South by Southwest is unique. Like this year, you guys are having South by Southwest Education, is it called, for the first time ever. So there's always something new going on. How is this year South by Southwest different from past years?
Yeah, as you just mentioned, this is the first year that we're doing EDU, which follows Interactive, and we're also doing the Tech Summit, which is new to this year, and will come immediately follow Interactive, and that's another thing that we have high hopes for, and it'll kind of just look at the technology scene on a country-by-country basis, just because our registrants have grown and that base is no longer localized to just, the States. So we thought it'd be kind of cool to take a global look at where the technology scene is and where it's headed. So that's definitely new to this year as well. The trade show has changed dates. The Interactive Awards has changed dates, as Andrew can speak more to. But yeah, definitely a lot of new and exciting things for this year.
Yeah, there's a lot of new stuff just because we've seen growth over the last few years, especially I know since I've started. And so we have to accommodate that by having other new things going on. And also it's kind of refreshing for the people who would come, year after year and who've been long-time attendees, that there's, they know, how the show goes, but at the same time, there's new things for them to check out also.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but both of you have taken Cindy Orrell's class and either been to South by Southwest before you started working here, either for fun or covering it for the class. So how does it feel to actually, be working here, being a part of all of this craziness and planning all of this?
Yeah, actually the first time I ever attended was as a student and covering it for the website, or for Cindy's website. And I mean, it's definitely different to be on the other end of it and just knowing the work that goes into it. I mean, seeing the finished product is definitely a different story than putting blood, sweat, and tears into the production of it. But I hope that, on the opposite side of it, we don't get to attend as many of the sessions as we would like to. So I kind of have a short list for things that I really want to check out and see if, they turned out as well as we had hoped. But yeah, it's definitely way more stressful on the other end of things, but in a good way. I'm excited to see the finished product and to just, be able to see what we've spent a year's worth of work trying to get off the ground.
See, I don't have that experience as much because I don't think Cindy had been doing the Texas State or the South by coverage when we took her class originally, because I think the year I interned was when I was taking Cindy's class, because she'd always talk, she would talk up the event and how great it was and how it was like the biggest thing she does every year. And there's a lot of people who say that we know through the festival. But I don't think she had started that coverage, so I never actually covered it before. I just was an intern, and I got to attend more as an intern, and then when I graduated, I got hired on full time, and now it's just kind of, it is what it is, it's here.
So when you do have time when you're not working and crazy busy, I guess, are there any panels or speakers that you guys are excited to see this year at Interactive?
You could probably speak to that better than I can.
I'm really just excited to see Chris Pools. He's one of our keynotes this year, and he recently just launched Canvas, and people probably know him as the founder of 4chan. And yeah, I'm really just excited to see his session because he kind of speaks to something different than, I don't know, what's been the trend, I don't know, in the tech community as far as openness and user identities across social networks, and just that he speaks to privacy and anonymity seems like, I don't know, it's kind of going against the grain. So I'm really, kind of excited for checking out his. And there's a lot of smaller panels. Our core conversations I'm really interested to check out because, it's just the opposite end of the spectrum. The keynotes are going to be massive this year, so we've planned for overflow rooms, and they're being simulcast across a bunch of different campuses. But I also want to go into a lot of the meetups and core conversations to kind of just see how, the idea behind those was to kind of keep like a niche community feeling to South by, just as big as Interactive's gotten. So I want to check that out and just see if, we're doing a good job of fostering that community feeling, and I don't know, so we can report back and see how to improve next year. Yeah,
the one, I haven't been as much involved in the panels process as Sarah has over the last few months, but I know the one that I really rallied for when we were going through was, because I'm a big sports writing, sports blog fan, and there's one that was put together by Dan Shanoff, who he wrote for the New York Times, and he has a startup called Quickish, which it's like a social media sports type of deal. And he put a nice sports blogging panel together with, I think, Jamela Hill from ESPN's on it, and Darren Ravel from CNBC is on it, and I believe AJ Delario from Deadspin. So it's kind of got some heavy hitters in the sports media world. So that's one for my personal interest I'm going to try and sneak away and duck some work to go see.
And I think the Gregory brothers, like the Auto-Tune the News group, is going to be on a panel about topical videos, so I'll probably just check that out because
and they're actually performing at the Interactive Awards also. They're one of our entertainment acts during the ceremony.
Yeah, so I also want to check that out.